Let's get into the news. What's happening? What's happening?
So on the City Newsroom online portal, the big stories over the government's community mining scheme, a front for Galamsey, and that's coming from the Ghana Medical Association. I really like it so much when some of these professional bodies get their voices back, right, and begin to speak on very important issues. So well done, Ghana Medical Association, for obeying that conscience, right, and coming out to speak on it. EC rejects NDC for forensic audit of voters register. Also here, we use self-financing alongside syndicated loans for next crop season. That's coming in from Cocoa Board. The flag bearer of the New Patriotic Party, Dr. Mahmoud Baumia, has been speaking, and he says his father's death inspired government's medical drone delivery initiative. Interesting. I like how politicians sometimes try to use their personal stories to connect into the broader need for some specific policies, and you get a sense that the vice president is doing exactly that. He says his dad's death inspired the zipline medical drone delivery initiative. Some other stories still on Galamsey: ban small-scale mining now. GMA, that's Ghana Medical Association, and other unions to President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. Cement prices won't be capped. New airline to ensure fairness, and that's from the Trade Minister, Katie Hammond. And to some rather unfortunate stories still on the citynewsroom.com. In Koforidua, police is on the manhunt for a car snatching syndicate. Wow. And after Blackstars' shambolic performance in Kumasi, your home region, right, the National Sports Authority, after that terrible outlook with regards to the state of the pitch, Bawa Majid has got some effort really, and he's been speaking. And he's saying that Angola didn't play in the sky. So basically about the comment as to whether the pitch was proper standards or high quality, right? So he's saying that don't try and blame the pitch because the Angolans
they didn't play in the sky. Charlie, that comment killed me.
No, but how can you even say that?
That comment killed me.
No, in a way it is true, but you don't say that when I'm a position of authority, right?
Exactly.
So it was ridiculous hearing it from him, especially considering the kind of work the NSA. We don't even have a single standard pitch in this country. Anyway, so these are the big stories on the citynewsroom.com front portal.
All right, let me do the front page of the Mirror. Weaving culture with wire, unique art of Salim Wumpini Fusaini. Handling common child emergencies. That's another story on the front page. And Loga carpenters abandon traditional furniture for foodstuff crates. I'm sure they're cashing in. So Anloga is like a hub in Kumasi where you can get everything furniture.
You know when he said Anloga, my mind went somewhere else.
Oh, really?
Yeah, my mind went to like the Volta region.
No, this is in the Ashanti region. Yeah, it's in the Ashanti region.
Stoneboy has a whole album named Anlonga Junction, right?
Yeah.
So anyway.
That's understandable.
Yeah.
Another story here. How do I get my baby's father to pay maintenance? We'll delve into that a bit. On the back page, Abdul Aziz Issa's ambition, talent, and all of that is here. On the Spectator front page, Ogwa holds Durbar to climax Fetu Afashe today. And I've been seeing the videos on social media, Charlie.
People are having a swallow of the time.
I think next time we need to go there and probably do Breakfast Daily Weekend from there.
Probably.
Yeah, probably. Samens, if you're hearing us, Ogwa is a place to be next year. Kolebu Hospital, not a place of no return. That's Dr. Ampoma saying that. Turning passion into business, the story of Rosemary Ekuban of Banrose House of Creatives. And check your land title registration. Those are the stories on The Spectator. On the back page, a second look at FA's Under-19 directive. Hearts Kotoko aim to turn things around as 2024-2025 GPL season kickstart.
To some other stories on the Daily Graphic Weekend Special, a rather tragic one on the front page, still on Galamsey, because they titled this one, Killer Galamsey Pits, How Young Couple Lost Twins. Really, really tragic story. Also on the front page, Stop Partisan Divisiveness. That's on campuses. That's coming in from the Asantehene, Otumfuo, Osei Tutu the second. Also here on the front page, Dr. Daniel Latte Jr. leads GCPP, promises transformation through agric and technology. I was quite disappointed I didn't see any domestication in there, but yeah, the GCPP are in again, and they promise transformation through agric and technology. I don't know if you have any insight details for us.
So my first story here, Anloga carpenters abandon traditional furniture for foodstuff crates in the Mirror. So carpenters at the Anloga suburb in Kumasi in the Ashanti region are gradually shifting their focus from the production of traditional furniture to the massive production of crates for storing and carting foodstuff. They said the change is due to the lack of patronage of those traditional products such as wardrobes, kitchen tables, chop boxes, and stools. When the Mirror visited the suburb last Saturday, some of the carpenters said the crates had a ready market and also fetched them more profits. And as schools prepare to reopen this month after a long vacation, the demand for chop boxes, among other furniture, is also likely to go high. So I guess according to whichever season they are in, they make whichever, whether a crate or a chop box. I think I bought my chop box from there when I was going to school.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because it's a hub, and so they're like different carpentry shops all lined up. If you want wood, that's where you go to, and all of that. So yeah, it's a hub for everything, and I guess according to season or whatever is in season. If it's children going to school, then chop boxes are in season. If it's the crates for the tomatoes or the carting of goods, then that's what they will do. I mean, we need to make a living, no?
Wow, interesting. Let me just bring our viewers some excerpts of the big story on the Daily Graphic Weekend Special. They titled this one, How Young Couple Lost Their Twins Due to Killer Galamsey Pits. And so, the story on the front page says it was the hope of Evans Dugbe, 25, and Kate Agboga, 23, that their 2-year-old twins would grow up to become responsible adults. However, also, having lost their first child, the young couple saw the birth of Frederick and Letitia as compensation for their previous loss. Wow. Their plan was to enroll the pair in school and give them the best education that would make them national assets. However, this dream was crushed when the toddlers fell into an illegal mining pit on Monday, August 26 this year, never to live again. The sad incident, which occurred at the Mokwa in the Trifo Eti Mokwa district in the central region, has left the couple shattered. And when Daily Graphic visited the couple at their home in the farming community on September 4, the mood was that of dejection, despair, and sobriety, right? Sitting in the courtyard of the two mud houses roofed with corrugated iron sheets where family members who had gathered for a meeting, the solemn environment spoke volumes about how the devastated family was. And the story goes on to say, talks about the pits, right? The killer Galamsey pits. It's when Daily Graphic was led to the mining site that claimed the lives, or the two tender lives. It was observed that the gaping pit was half filled with water, while several other pits were dotted around. The pit was less than 40 meters away from the house in which Miss Agboga had taken the victims to visit their grandmother. The pit has a steep but sloping entry that could easily make one slip into its deeper part, which contained water. This gave an indication that the children might have slipped while playing around it. Wow, really, really tragic story.
Very tragic story.
See, often, when we talk about Galamsey, we talk about it being an existential threat in future, right? Or like in the near future. You say, oh, by this year, if you don't check it, we'll start importing water. By this year, if you don't check it, the poison in the water is going to affect us. But now we are seeing it actually claim lives on a daily basis, right? So this week there have been about 3 or 4 different instances where people lost their life directly by falling into some of these abandoned pits. And see, there's never been a better time to decisively act on Galamsey than there is now, right? And you wonder why there's this really lackluster approach by government. It's really, really disheartening and so unfortunate, I know.
I wanted to bring another story on Another sad story. So you remember the O'Reilly student who stabbed another for an argument?
Really
Someone
tragic.
has written a letter to the Mirror, and he says, focus on riches without querying source is a problem. So he's saying that we need to be firmer in raising children and having standards. It is
Yeah.
time to cut the trends of pampering and uphold values both in schools and at home. We give every platform in this country to a rich person who can't even explain their wealth
source of wealth. Yeah,
to young
obviously.
boys who have no business or inheritance but drive expensive cars. We hail thieves and frown on hard work. We shame those making an honest living and crown criminals. We invite to the highest tables alleged criminals and fraudsters who parade themselves as entrepreneurs. You wake up one morning and there's a new big boy in town with houses and a couple of cars and millions of followers on social media called a business mogul. And when you ask questions, you're a hater.
True.
So imagine whose father is my father is richer than my father, and then he stabs the other friend.
True.
That's sad. This is if you get a picture of the Mirror, you would find that as well. Oh yes, there's also another, but that's a story in Nigeria. I don't know if you've heard it.
Which one? The girl that was burnt?
Yes. No, not burnt. She was
was-
stabbed.
Yeah.
The guy raped her, assaulted her.
The guy was in church with
Yeah,
her.
and then and then he buried her and then called her parents for ransom money. Crazy stuff. But there's another story here. Crocs, do you own a pair?
Yeah, I have like 2 or 3.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen. Oh, actually, I have seen you wear the black one.
Yeah, I have the white
I
one
don't
too,
own a pair.
which is my favorite. Oh no, I'll get you one.
Yeah. So Crocs trend from comfort footwear to fashion icon. People actually feel so comfortable wearing their Crocs everywhere.
Yeah, because
I
it's
think
really
we
a
need to
comfy-
put
some restraining
on
order
Crocs.
But I
No,
feel like
no, sometimes it's
it was
too much.
popularized by the health workers, right?
Yeah.
So you go to a hospital, you see, and because of the comfort it provides. See,
Oh, but Charlie, sometimes it's too much.
no, I get what you mean. But see, my white Crocs is the best thing after sliced bread. I'm not even joking. Like,
Really?
so after a very long day at work, or like you wake up, when my legs slide into it, I'm like, okay, right?
You heave
Not
a
this
sigh of relief.
Crucia Mukas Charlie, no. So wait.
So
wait. So Crocs, I understand why people opt for it. So
My
imagine
word.
you're a factory worker. Would you rather wear some sneakers that's like tightening your whole leg, freezing blood flow, when you can really get like a trendy Crocs to wear and stuff like that? So for the aesthetics, for the comfort, I think it's up there.
Well, I don't have any problem with it.
Because
and then
you
now
don't
you
have
have no,
Because
because
you don't
I
have one.
choose not to. I choose not
You know,
to
I'll take it as a personal.
because I
yeah.
know that it's comfortable. I mean, I've
Exactly.
tried it in a couple of pairs, but I've always resisted buying one for
try get one.
myself because
You'll be happier
I'm
for it.
sure I'll be wearing it. I'll come on this show one day wearing it like.
Yeah, but you know, so people get the Crocs, then they sort of like design it
Oh, my
completely. Then you
word.
think it's like a whole different thing, right? Like
I mean, one or two is fine, but then some have bedazzled bejeweled it, and those little stickers. You also have stickers.
I had like Chelsea
Oh Lord.
designer tags, right?
Oh,
so
Lord.
like incredible stuff. And when I wear like that, oh stop.
Oh my word. To all
So,
you
yeah.
Croc lovers out there, I beg you, there are places you can wear your Crocs and there are places you cannot take your Crocs to. We beg you.
I mean, yeah, I think so you can't take it to like really formal engagements.
Yeah,
right?
but you see people wear it.
But outside of that, please, they're allowed to wear their Crocs everywhere and anywhere. So, yeah. There were some other stories. I wanted to bring the story from the Fit to Afashe, where or in the central region rather, where the Asante Hene was speaking.
Yeah. In the fell, so
Yeah, so he was talking about something that we really need to pay attention to
right.
heading into an election year. So stop partisan divisiveness that's coming in from the Asante Hene. The Asante Hene 2432 the second has expressed worry about how some tertiary institutions have allowed abrasive political division in the country to permeate their sacred campuses and turned them into battlegrounds for partisan combats instead of havens for imbibing and dispensing knowledge. He said the partisanship in those tertiary institutions must be reversed to optimize the impact of politics on the nation's socio-economic advancement. The Asante spoke at the conferment of an honorary Doctor of Laws degree on him by the University of Cape Coast last Thursday. The Asante is among some eminent persons and is the third traditional ruler to have received such a degree. Previous recipients included former President John Agyekum Kufuor, President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, Osabre Makwesi Atta II, Paramount Chief of Cape Coast, and Ehunabobrim Pra Ajinsem V, Paramount Chief of Orinchiman Traditional Area. The well-attended ceremony, which attracted prominent persons from academia, government, traditional authorities, and the clergy, was interspersed with traditional performances and music. He goes on to talk about free SHS, so let me just bring you excerpts of what he says. What he says there, he says, and the story goes on to say that Asante said that while there was no doubt that the free senior high school education policy was the single most audacious piece of social intervention in the Fourth Republic, it had become a subject of controversial discourse, considering that it came with fiscal challenges. Interesting. Otumfuo said it, however, stated that while there was undoubted merit in the rather ambitious free secondary school policy, its implementation was not totally coordinated with the tertiary institutions, leading to a surge in demand for undergraduate students. He said the policy increased numbers of prospective undergraduate students, too many for an unprepared tertiary education system in terms of infrastructure. Wow. So the Asante is actually raising points or issues Africa Education Watch have said in the past. But let me just read a little more on the free SHS bit. It says that Asante added that while the education was costly, that far outweighed the cost of an uneducated population and therefore called for investment in the education sector. Interesting remarks by that Asante. So he makes the point that it's the single most audacious piece of social intervention in the Fourth Republic, and that it's great. Nobody's denied that, except that he raised issues with how government implemented it to the neglect of other sectors like tertiary, like basic. And see, we've had cause to make this point even on ChannelOne News that if, for example, when we had Alabria the last time, and we were talking about educational infrastructure in the country, we sought to make the point that if you look at, for example, the attrition rate in the northern part of the country, which is currently about around 3%. So the attrition rate basically means that for every about 10 pupils that enter school from KG, only about 3 will make it all the way to senior high school to benefit from free SHS, which means that 70% or 7 out of the 10 would have dropped along the line. So maybe from KG to class 3, some 2 will leave. From class 3 to class 6, another 4 will leave. From class 6 to form 3, another 2 or 3 will leave. And at the end, only 3% end up. So what's the point in making it free or increasing access or pushing enrollment in free senior high school through the free senior high school policy when the basic education, when the foundational part of the educational structure, which is KG and crèche, is struggling, right? Maybe not crèche, but KG basic school and tertiary. So the point has to be made, and it's great for me that Otumfuo has gone out of his way to emphasize that. So free SHS is great, but we need to make it connected. We need to have its benefits, which is enrollment, of course, a highly literate society, connected to making sure that all aspects of the whole educational system is really whole. So great call.
Let's stay with the Ogwa Fetu Afeshe, because they're holding the climax, which Durbar to climax the Fetu Afeshe today. And so a bit of that story in The Spectator reads, Fetu Afeshe, a unique cultural festival of the chiefs and people of the Ogwa traditional area in the central region, will be climaxed today. Unlike previous festivals, this year's event has so far generated massive patronage throughout the days, with merrymaking and other nightlife activities on some streets of the once capital of the Gold Coast. The festival, which normally witnesses various cultural performances, is held to mark a bumper harvest season and to thank the 77 deities of the Ogwa traditional area. This year's festival is on the theme celebrating the city of the first. Today's Durbar of Chiefs will be graced by Asantehene Otumfuo Osei-Tutu II as a special guest, the Galamsey King Takiteko Shrew II, is also expected to attend the climax of the festival. And this year, being an election year, will also attract notable political leaders in the country, as they are expected to use their presence to increase their appeal among residents and well-wishers. This year's festival is the 60th edition and the 25th anniversary of the installation of Osaberima Kwesiata II. I'm sure I'm not mentioning his name right, Kwesi, right? Infanti Kwesiata II as paramount chief of the Ogwa traditional area. So, series of activities will happen. I think yesterday they had an orange. If I'm not mistaken, everybody was wearing orange in the town.
Yeah.
You know, I
That's
guess
like
having
their
fun.
color, right?
I'm not too sure.
Yeah, I
but
saw a lot of
apparently
videos and
every
pictures
Friday
of that.
when they have the Fitwa Fashion, they wear orange and then just, happy them. So I feel like Ogwa is a place to be. Like after the show, we should just pass by. I mean, Cape Coast their hair.
To some, I'm looking forward to that. We can go and come in.
Go and come back and do Sunday breakfast, or you say waiting.
To some showbiz news and some controversy, really, because Shatawale and Daddy Lumba, I know where you stand on this. So don't even worry.
His what?
So Shatawale and Daddy Lumba, something be Charlie.
Shatawale. Or
the headline says, "Don't compare me with Daddy Lumba. It's disrespectful." So when I saw the headline, I was like, "Hang on, wait a minute."
Yeah.
Then
okay,
I actually see a story
read.
where he refers to Daddy Lumba as the legend.
Okay.
But what's really happened is that over the week, or during the week, right, there were like conversations and comparisons were right on social media about the legendhood, really, of Shatawale and Daddy Lumba. And you know the SM fans, right?
Shatawale is not a legend yet.
Yet.
I mean, maybe years to come.
Yet, ma.
He is not a legend yet.
He changed the face of dancehall music in this country.
But he's not a legend yet.
Or you see your definition of legend is?
Somebody whose music has lived over time is still being played.
He literally
Daddy Lumba nyom eyasio, party asio, empeyufo, crowd, wedding asio, baby Daddy Lumba fits. Compare deal. Please, Shatawale is not a legend yet until he can satisfy all those things I have mentioned.
No, but to be fair,
he even has gospel music.
Shatawale has the biggest collaboration with the biggest international music icon outside
Beyonce.
Yeah, like no one comes close, right?
So that makes him a legend.
Huge. And that Beyonce album was like.
Oh yeah,
top two, right? So yeah, that's some really high level. That is legend stuff. Somebody would argue.
So I'm saying he's creating a path to legend,
but
legendary status. But now he's not.
For real,
I tell you.
So who are the current music legends in the country? Like who are still like actively there?
Current. Charlie, nobody's reached yet.
No, your standards.
My standards are very high.
Maybe your standards are very high,
or they are just very high.
Unrealistic because see, so Stonebwoy, no.
He's carving a path.
But like
he's carving a path to.
And Shatawale is not carving the path.
I've said he's carving a path to becoming a legend. They are not legends yet.
No, see, Shatawale's dancehall king in the whole gang. It was huge.
Granted.
Beyonce, huge. Like
I'm saying they are still carving the path.
He is that guy. I'm not even joking. So I understand where his fans come from. He himself hasn't said he's there with Daddy Lumba, right? It's his fans who are. But I know the funny thing.
The DL fans will come for him.
I saw a tweet that said that Daddy Lumba's Nana Ewina song is bigger than Shatawale's whole career. Actually. But I don't know about that. I really don't know about that. I'm like, wow, you even want to say such a thing, right? But yeah, I mean, I get the point. Daddy Lumba.
Yeah, I'm glad he's revering Daddy Lumba.
He transcends like Janus, right? So put him anywhere, he will deliver.
He fits.
I remember his whole song about. He had a really controversial title, right? Ethiopia. I'm like, whoa. And it became a political song because the government at the time was jamming to it.
I tell you, blasting it.
Yeah, then you go to some funeral somewhere, some kutia, if the family are not really getting along, then Charlie,
the DJ
will release the song, Charlie. And I'm like, how does this guy do it, right?
Yeah.
How does this guy do it?
Yeah.
It's
that's a legend. See?
But I think Shatawale is a legend as
I
well.
said he's a legend in the making. He hasn't reached there yet.
I think he's there.
He hasn't reached
I
there
think
yet.
he's not like there, but he's there.
So he's not there.
Charlie, that Beyonce
If you have to say he's not there, then he's not there.
That Lumbazi featured Beyonce.
Yeah, the Beyonce yeah then.
Hey, Charlie.
Judy pa.
If the beehives, if the
Has
beehive,
Shatawale performed for the Queen
if
before?
the beehives people here, you not be happy.
Has Shatawale performed
Yeah, but he
for
has
the Queen
performed
before?
for Beyonce.
Ah.
He has performed with Beyonce.
Jude Jai. Stop right here. Stop right. Hey, DL. Don't let the DL fans come for you this morning. I'm sure Twitter is buzzing already.
I mean, like I said, he's there. He's there. He's
DL.
there. But Shatawale too is also there.
I'm not saying he's not.
The two truths can coexist.
I am not saying that too. And
So
like
what are
our
you saying?
director is saying, DL to the rear.
No, so you are saying that Shatawale is not there yet.
Yes.
But he's on his way there.
He's on his way.
And I'm saying that DL is a legend. So is Shatawale. The two of them can coexist. We can enjoy them both.
We are enjoying them both,
So-
but we
so-
enjoy DL more.
No problem. But
Shatta
Shatawale
has a
is also a
long
legend.
way to go. I said until he satisfies us with different genres, you know.
Yeah, but he's done that.
Gospel.
Oh, he has a song called Pray. It's more gospel than anything else I've heard.
I don't think I've heard
He
that
has
song.
Dancehall Kid, which changed the face of dancehall
Dancehall in
music
Ghana.
in the country.
Okay.
He has an Azonto collection with
Okay.
Sarkodie. Like, Charlie, see, I think it's also because
Ekra DL. Yeah, period.
I'm not even going
DL.
to. I'm not even
Oh,
going to
Master
attempt
Jai.
this.
Shatawale is there. He's gradually becoming a legend, but he's not there yet. Simple. He's not there yet.
I think he's there.
Let me do my last story because
I think he's there.
this thing we won't finish arguing about this, but trust me.
People behind the scenes are laughing a bit.
Yeah,
too
they're
much,
laughing
but-
at you because
but
when
that-
you finish,
but
they say
but
go
that's
home.
okay. That's okay.
Go
Wow.
home. There's this interesting, but I don't know whether it's kind of sad as well, because traders and Okada riders have taken over Circle Payment, and there are pictures of them. So they're sleeping on their mattresses if they have. If not, then they do some four-corner posts, tie their cloths around it, and sleep within that enclave. So they sleep with their children. That's sad. And then the children end up begging on the street. And so that's happening
So
right here at the
unfortunate.
Kwame
So
Nkrumah Circle.
unfortunate.
Very unfortunate.
I mean, I saw a story some time ago about how a car knocked down one of these migrant beggars you have on our streets, and it was a really depressing sight. Since then, we've seen the assemblies try to clear them off the road, but to really no avail. And for me, they pose so many challenges other than just a social problem, right? Because like, exposing these kids to so many things, right? And there's no proper education for them. So the next time they're asking, they're not giving them the sense of entitlement. I mean, there was this one time I was with a couple of friends, then we gave them some money. So some of these kids rushed to the car in traffic. We gave them some money. Then one of them is like, oh, only. I'm like, whoa.
Sense of entitlement.
Hey,
Only says it.
I say only, I say only. Nah, hey.
Me and Kamese should
I
music
say only. At that time, it was the 2 CD notes, right?
Eh.
Hey, now my cocoa in the morning, how much do I buy? Then we give you 2 CDs. They say, oh,
only.
no, like she insinuated that like we should add more. And I'm like, whoa, this is growing sense of entitlement, right? So yeah, the next time they actually don't give them, they don't give them. It gets to a point where they will take it by force, right? And I feel like society is just quietly watching it happen, and it's just a ticking time bomb. And it's just how society works sometimes, right?
Yeah.
So for me, it's a problem. And seeing all of these vagrants, these homeless people, sometimes where they even sleep, right? So you go for example, the Kwame Nkrumah Circle, interchange, and they're sleeping underneath it. Sometimes the cars veer off the road as a mistake, like anything can happen, right? So for me, it's a serious concern we need to start paying attention to.
Yeah, but let's not end on that sad note. Let's end with DL. So we'll be back with what's happening. Don't go away.